Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Darkness has fallen upon Semois, so we're back to that one again. A bit hard to get matches. I mean, it's not to say I'm not finding a lot of them, but again, it's a bit hard to find a good one, an interesting one, and a bit lately, and also, of course, a lot of them are Monday novice fights, and again, I'm also getting a ton of them. I think the last 24 hours, I've gotten at least 10 or 12 of them. Which, of course, also logically means, of course, I can't cast them all. So again, I'd also like to point out, if I don't cast one of your replays you send in, it's not necessarily because it was bad or anything. It's just because, again, I get a ton of replays. I realistically can't cast everything. But we shall be watching Shevonoluckystrike Shevonoluckystrike. That'll probably have the more proper pronunciation. Playing for the Wehrmacht. Standard start. Already there. Taking on the fight for the Panzer Lehr. Opposing him shall be VCRVB, which I do believe is Pepsi, who is actually a bit back after a bit of a hiatus, though now sans moustache, tragically. He looks a bit strange without his moustache, to be honest. But fighting for the Americans, taking on the fight for the 1st Armoured Division. Engineers moving out, and we're seeing actually pretty aggressive engineer play, and also, interesting enough, he does not focus initially on the fuel, but leaves that to a rifleman squad, which of course can take it faster, so in that sense the delay won't be huge, but nonetheless. And we're actually seeing a bit of cap walking, which is a trick I have not mastered nor have an intention of doing, but basically has him sending a rifleman all the way over there while the rest of the squad takes it there. At the same time, we're seeing Wehrmacht forces moving in. The Volksguards immediately get out their barbed wire, their Stahldracht, and say, lay down the barbed wire to the cemetery. We can't have those Americans walking in, stealing the corpses. Oh, wait. Oh, we're trying to deny them cover. Oh, and Shevonoluckystrike does the exact same thing. He sort of gets the fuel point right next to his base as an afterthought. Like, oh, right, I need fuel. I'd best get that, since I am the Wehrmacht and my panzers need something to drive on, since they don't drive on schnapps. Though if German panzers could have been just fueled by schnapps, I'm pretty sure the Germans would have won the war. Anyways, rifleman moving up there, another rifleman scored out for Pepsi, and I'll just refer to that since his other name is pretty much very difficult. Rifleman going in after the Volksguards again. Note a lot of barbed wire. Shevonoluckystrike really fortifying the town squares, making it very difficult for the Americans to take cover. There we go. Rushing into the cafe, past the cafe latte machine, and opening up on the Volksgrenadiers. And the pioneers are caught behind the barbed wire. Oh, talk about pinning himself into a corner. Except in this case, they wired themselves into a corner. Gott im Himmelheinz! Have you been drinking again? And there we go, having to wire the entire bit off again. Gods, that must be embarrassing. Rifleman moving in, coming under fire from the Volksguards. A bit of cat and mouse around the cafe. And we already see here, wiring down. And I mean, Pepsi just walks up, and again, that's the thing about wiring this spot. I mean, it's great if you've got riflemen coming, but if engineers walk in, it's pretty much bloody wasted effort. So I mean, it's a bit of a gamble if you want to use time on that, because you can just as easily find set time wasted. The Wehrmacht, though, getting pushed out of town. There's only one squad of some mighty Volksgrenadier left. One rifleman down. The German troops fight heroically. They're a bit outmanned. There we go. They're getting a few more riflemen, down to 2, but the Jeep having a ride for Pepsi, and the 1st Armoured and the riflemen force the Volksguards out of town. Engineers and pioneers fighting here. The engineers are fighting from behind a nice tree in light cover, thus getting the advantage against the pioneers, who, no matter how heroically they fight, shall not be able to overcome. So fun. Also, slightly fun fact. Looks like I will be getting some more RAM for my computer. Oh, nice attempted sandbags, but a bit too late. So hopefully that should overall lead to some improvements sometime in the near future, either by Tuesday or Wednesday. I am hoping that will allow me to upload in an even higher quality, which I used to in the beginning, but again, this sort of thing will length, and basically just too much problems with it due to the amount of RAMs I have currently. So again, hope that will fix it. Might even ease up the Fraps issues, though I'm less confident that might actually happen. But still, overall should lead to some improvements. And so don't worry, I won't be asking for donations for that either. Just keep watching the stream, and hopefully some ad revenue will also help a bit with that. But we are seeing Rifle engaging the Volksgunners here. Volksgunner down, and again going for the fuel point. Very aggressive play by Pepsi. He's absolutely intent on grabbing the throat there. And we are seeing now an MG4 moving up to support the Volksgunners. Again, keep moving in. And we're actually seeing a pretty aggressive play by No Lucky Strike. 3 Volksgunners start with an MG, but the Volksgunners here getting blocked by the Jeep. They can't retreat. They're going to... Oh, scored down for No Lucky Strike, and the Panzer Lehr. A heavy loss to the German Infantry. Going for the fuel point right there. Bit of Jeep lying on the road, including a wounded Volksgrenadiers. Medic bank would be nice. It looks like a replacement unit is on the way from the Wehrmacht quarters. Medic station going up for less Pepsi. Going for the cutoff point there to deny valuable munitions. There we go. And immediately before he begins taking the point, he begins mining, because again, if you did that before taking the point and being neutral, Lucky Strike would be able to see it. But as soon as it's neutral, of course, while he might not be paying fully attention, of course, note the lack in taking point. You know, he might not be able to spot it. Oh, he should have begun taking it back, at least to sort of keep No Lucky Strike thinking nothing really happened. Oh well. MG42 covering here, and looks like No Lucky Strike is laying down a blockade of the point right here. Choke point blockade, that's nice. Right, now moving in. At the same time pushing up on the left hand side. And there we go, Volksgunners hit the mine. Jeep getting repaired. A bit cut off though. And the Raven here getting suppressed, coming under heavy fire from a German position there. Could perhaps lay down some sandbags to make it a bit easier for the Wehrmacht. I mean, there's only pretty much light cover here. A bit of heavy cover to assist all the way would make it very much difficult for Pepsi to advance up there. But making good progress on the left-hand side. And we're actually seeing a weapon support sent out. I mean, considering the sort of advantage he would have gained here, I think he should have bothered with something like either tank depot, Reich Browning automatics, or just armoured cars. I'm not convinced that a weapon support center and snipers is going to work out for him. Just saying. Fighting though continues here. Oh, the engineer squad, while fighting heroically, did not succeed. Well, the Jeep does get a few more kills on the Volksgrenadiers, who are definitely beaten up. But the fuel is once more in the hands of the Wehrmacht, of the Panzer Lehr. Some mighty Panzer Lehr. MG setting up. Going for the cutoff point there. Nice harassment being inflicted there by Pepsi. Pepsi also being a rather aggressive American player, so he knows how to play them, although again, he might be slightly behind on the overall strategic play and meta game of Company of Heroes since a slight hiatus. But snipers out. He does love his snipers. I do not love snipers at all, and again looking forward to Company 2 on that department. Jeep might be trying to move in for harassment, and we're seeing a double wire laying down here to really slow down anyone, but the MG's pointing in the wrong direction. Pepsi still not firing with the sniper, and there we go, gets off a nice hit on the MG just as the rifle flank hits in. This could absolutely cause some problems. The rifle is going to take some nasty hits there on the retreat. And the Jeep getting pushed back as well. Heavy losses, one man down.
Supply lines are broken. We have territory cut off from supply.
And we are actually seeing him a bit split over the entire place. Jeep charges in. Right in front of the Volksgrenadiers. Will there be a Panzerfaust? And there we go. Jeep tries to escape, but a Panzerfaust connects with the fuel tank and blows the entire thing up, sending one man on a very fun air ride until he rather realizes he's supposed to be dead. Securing the southern point. A bit of aggression up here against the northern points. Very much harassment, very much fighting for the vital points. And again, the wire here going to make it rather difficult for Pepsi to seek any sort of ground and gain any cover. Which again is also great use of barbed wire, by the way. And there we go, Volksgunner is going to get pushed away. Moving up, advancing. And an MG42 hanging out there for No Lucky Strike. Not sure why. But the Volksgrenadiers on the move. They did not actually even exist by the time of Normandy, though they actually came about after Normandy, after Operation Bagration. A series of large things that caused the Germans heavy losses, which rather forced them to come up with some new infantry units, which were the Panzergrenadiers. Lehr didn't have quite as many men as a regular infantry division, but they had more firepower, as in theory, actually, each Panzergrenadier platoon was in fact supposed to have 2 squads equipped with assault rifles, which is quite a bit of that. Rather than they're going to move up, hit the flank of the Panzergrenadiers, going to catch them a bit off guard. And there we go, forced away, tragically so. Although, of course, I imagine the Panzergrenadiers are there to represent another unit, which was actually a bit more low quality in Normandy, the Osttruppen, which ironically are in company of heroes too. And which largely did not actually see much action on the Eastern Front, at least on the front lines. Always thought that a bit interesting, but they will be in company of too. It's the Osttruppen, which actually were what some of the first units the Americans actually would have encountered. See, Eastern ones, the Grenadiers are coming out of cover. Need to be a bit careful. Volksgrenadiers moving up. Another sniper out for Pepsi. He's really hoping to punish the infantry off. No lucky strike to tear through and cause him some heavy attrition. And generally be a pain in the arse. But let's go look at no lucky strike. Mine going off. Oh dear. Looks like someone went down. Lots of mines down from Pepsi Man. Taking points. Grenadiers moving up there. Engineers quickly retreating, having laid down another mine. Nice mining there by Pepsi. The wire has been somewhat cut, so basically anyone can squeeze through. Oh, they might not be the most comfortable experience. Oh man, it ruined my uniform. Shut up, Larry. Volksgrenadiers though getting encountered, forced off, and run off. And another minor engagement up here. Sturm Armoured up actually. So pretty heavy teching from Shevonoluckystrike. Apparently he might have figured that Pepsi was mining here, so he switched about. I mean, it's supposed when he's noticed that upon, of course, laying down mines, you can always then get a bit paranoid and sort of try to take slightly more advanced routes to sort of avoid any potential mines. Of course, you'll never know until you get out of a minesweeper or someone else hits it. Observation post up for Les Pepsi, so clearly he's teching up for something. Sniper on the way to probably counter-snipe the American Schweinhund. And now you go Raven going out for the victory point, running straight into a prepared AMD position, supported by Volksman to cover the flank. Nicely positioned there by No Lucky Strike. The Raven are quickly on the retreat. Larger force moving in there. Flamethrowers and riflemen. Grenadiers should be careful. And a smaller assault detachment by the Germans down south. Riflemen pushed off. Well, continuing to retreat. More mines down by Pepsi. Note his placement right here is perhaps a bit more awkward. Not the usual spot. In fact, it's a bit out in the open, which is not necessarily a bad idea, as it can be a bit of a well-travelled area. So clearly Pepsi is counting on sort of outfoxing his opponent with mines, but No Lucky Strike saw that most likely. So that won't quite work as well. And Volksker's getting sniped. Looks like this. No, the squad leader is actually still alive. Mine engagement down here, and the riflemen quickly see off the small German assault detachment. And there we go. Schwerer Panzerspähwagen ready. Ausklärung. Volksker's continue to get sniped. They might want to reconsider staying in town. And again, moving in with to cut the wire. The armor car providing cover. Well, obstruction fire. Quickly getting a rifleman or two in the process. Wondrous. And we are seeing Pepsi going for the tank depot. No surprise there. He's been holding the fuel advantage for a larger part of the fighting, particularly now with the observation post. So I'd say about damn time. And I think he certainly should have skipped the weapons reports and then just go straight for that. Because currently he's got a bit of a problem. He's without anti-tank weaponry, and I imagine No Lucky Strike is figuring he's seen some riflemen, he's seen some snipers, but nothing else, so he should probably prepare. But he's not getting a Stuke, probably because he doesn't have the fuel. But still, Pepsi's going to be in trouble. He does not have anything that can actually stop an armoured car, except mines. And while I suppose he could try and, of course, pull off the good old sock feint on the armoured car, that is, pretend that he has a sticky bomb. Of course, it's not going to work forever.
Yes, comrade. Heavy recon here. Location is ours.
Snipers moving about. He's keeping them in pairs. What you usually see done with snipers.
Ready for duty.
MG hiding here by the cemetery. Spooky. Smaller German force moving down south will be encountering the snipers. But very aggressive play from both players, but also again, you know, doing his best to make it hard for his opponent to maneuver at the very same time. Very nice. Oh, 2 grenadiers quickly down, shot through the heads. Oh, no! Hit the mine, and no lucky strike. Really hating the snipers in general. I mean, sniper loathing has been growing these last few months. I mean, people are just getting tired of snipers, which I can't blame them. I'm certainly tired of them as well. So again, I imagine a lot of people will be very much looking forward to Commandos 2 on that department. Armoured car, though, getting attacked by a Hellcat. The infernal feline lets loose. Gets off another nice hit on the armoured car. Speeding down the road, the Hellcat follows up. The Hellcat was, in fact, an incredibly fast tank destroyer, but also lightly armoured. MG here getting sniped. Not looking good, not looking good. Hellcat could cause a lot of trouble, running straight into a pack. Panzergrenadiers, fire frei. And of course, that's also going to mean all those barbed wires a bit pointless. There we go. Also ruining the telephone poles. Pepsi. Fun fact is the Germans were actually quite reliant on telephones, since the Americans, I believe the Allies, were rather disrupting regular radio lines and of course a bit of interception, so the Germans actually rely a lot on telephones, fascinatingly enough.
The enemy is seizing our territory.
I believe anyways, I might actually be wrong on that one. But I think so. I think so. But 2 armoured cars, a pack, and now it's the Volksgrenadiers with the Panzergrenadiers. Also a fun fact about the Volksgrenadier divisions, they're actually lacking in anti-tank weapons for the battalions, in that they didn't have any anti-tank guns. On the other hand, they had entire anti-tank companies equipped with Panzergrenadiers. The chaps who had to do the work weren't obviously quite as pleased about that. Of course, on the other hand, the Volksgrenadier divisions also had Hetzers or Stugs to support them, which is more than most infantry divisions had. So again, fun facts there, but again, did not fight in Les Normandy. Terror Doctrine, he's actually going for the right-hand side first. Fascinating fun. And looks like Pepsi spot what was going on. A bit of a slow delay there on the rockets. Firing down, burning the entire area, including the tree. Damn tree. Probably an Allied spy. Volksgrenadiers getting sniped. Americans holding up there nicely in the house. Armoured car pushing up, but should be careful. Of course, there's the Hellcat nearby, and there we go, going to get off a cloaked shot. A nice hit, almost, well, below half health, in fact. Another hit could knock it out. At the same time, Pepsi going for the victory point up north, but getting stopped by a Grenadier force with armoured car support. Really lots of shifting about, really aggressive play by Pepsi. He's trying to be everywhere. He's trying to, you know, stress out his opponent to divide his attention severely. Of course, Pepsi himself runs the risk of also, you know, losing attention as well as he's, you know, constantly shifting about. But if he plays his, of course, his cards correctly, it can cause some good situations where he rather catches a few units off where no lucky strike. He's not paying attention. And the Volksgrenadiers up here, despite their fancy Panzers. No, those were the ones that didn't make. The other chaps are still trying to make the way through a minefield. Just like flies and fails.
Attention, the enemy advances.
They continue to advance. The flamethrowers could probably easily deal with them if they stop taking the munitions briefly. But there we go, Rifle arriving, and the engineers retreat. Why did you do that? Oh dear, two American snipers retreat in the face of one German sniper, who has yet to actually fire a single shot, but now Pepsi's aware of him. Pepsi's aware. And the Hellcat just seems to be firing. Must be from Texas. Riflemen coming under severe fire again. The Grenadier and Armoured Car combination proving nasty towards infantry, although they do gain Veterans 1. And let's go return to VC Babla, aka Les Pepsis, who's gone for armor doctrine. Getting more tank destroyers. You could also consider getting some actual armor, some Shermans to take on the Deutsches Infantry. The Panzergrenadiers aus the Panzer Lehr, which actually was heavily equipped with armoured half-tracks. Trouble was, by the time it actually got to the front line, most of them had been blown up by Allied aircraft.
Taking Berlin by Christmas.
But it was one of the very, very few divisions to actually have its Panzer Grenadier units fully equipped with armoured half-tracks. And the only other division I know of that had the same part was the 21st. And that was because they were given converted French armoured half-tracks.
We're losing ground out there.
Rather here not doing too well. But looks like they make it. They pull off a Forrest Gump.
I am
Hellcat moves in. Anti-tank gun moving up. Browning automatics finally on the way for Pepsi. Could also consider make station. There we go. Folks getting sniped. No real veterans except for the vehicles actually. For no lucky strike. Interesting. Interesting. Hellcat coming under fire from the Panzerabwehrkanone. And the Volksguards are fighting versus flamethrowers and snipers down south, and they are definitely losing. And again, going for the victory points. Really aggressive harassment play by Pepsi. Small thrusts here and there. No large punches by Pepsi. He's constantly sneaking in here and there, causing some damage, pulling out, and then attacking there as well. Really sneaky play by Pepsi. And definitely it's keeping no lucky strike on his toes, because he's having a hard time sort of figuring out where to place his main defenses, where to place sort of the center of his forces, how to react to things. Because again, Pepsi keeps shifting about, attacking him there and then attacking him here. Pretty devious stuff. Supply and upgrade up. That is good. That is good for Les Pepsis. Of course, riflemen and snipers are not really going to do much against an armoured car. So I do fear this might have been a slightly botched attempt by Pepsi down south. And certainly the armoured car is definitely going to be one of No Lucky Strike's primary counters to this sort of tactics, because the armoured car does possess the sufficient speed and firepower to sort of deal with these smaller thrusts faster. Another one would be to actually just get a half-track and then stuff Grenadiers into it. That could also be used to quickly deal with this sort of swift harassment strategy. Of course, if he encounters Hellcats, of course he might want to upgrade one of the armoured cars to a Puma to sort of help. And looks like he's pouring more veterancy into his armoured cars. Still nothing for the infantry. And there we go, moving in again now with Browning automatics, now more heavily equipped with infantry weapons, and immediately send off. And there you go, sticky bombs actually finished now. Interesting, a bit delayed. And a Panzer command going up, the Panzer Lehr now opening up. Mines going off left and right. Including here apparently, 4 riflemen down to 1 mine. I imagine No Lucky Strike is quite pleased about that one. And the armoured car set off a mine as well. Unfortunately, I do believe Veterans 2 armoured cars actually get increased line of sight, which should make them much more successful vehicles when it comes to reconnaissance. Nebelwerfer battery adding in a bit as well. Giving a bit of light artillery for No Lucky Strike. Well, he was actually firing pretty heavy rockets. So in that sense, not light. Rifle engineers moving out. Hellcats patrolling about. Still no veterancy for the infantry, though. He seems to be pouring all the veterancy resources into the armoured cars. You might get veterancy free and nice get the damage upgrade. In which case, at least getting one upgrade to a Puma would be a slight boon against the Hellcats. It might not win the match, but it might certainly keep the Hellcats a bit more cautious. And looks like, though, Pepsi's actually making ready for a large strike. Snipers moving up the flank, lining up for a frontal assault. Hellcats ready to break through once the primary line and probably the primary well, point of contention. The anti-tank gun has been cleared out. There we go, pushing up the north. And there we go, getting sniped. MG on retreat. Volkskriegs on retreat. Panzer Lehr is gone. And there we go, the Hellcats following up. And there we go, anti-tank gun opening up. It's going to get sniped most likely. And there we go, anti-tank crew dealt with. Right, road is open. And a sniper went down for Pepsi though. Not a good exchange in some ways. I think what Pepsi should do is recruit one of the anti-tank guns. But no, he's calling in a firestorm. Shevonoluckystrike is calling in a firestorm. And I believe he might have been trying to, of course, catch the infantry, but it could also be because he wants to deny the anti-tank gun to Pepsi. Both are very good possibilities. But definitely the armoured cars are a bit outgunned in this department. They cannot take on the Hellcats. And there we go, full retreat. Again, I think Pepsi should recruit this anti-tank gun, get it repaired, and turn it against its former owners. And that way, it could rather make things much more difficult for Shevonoluckystrike. And of course, you should always try and, of course, use your opponent's resources against him. Star flag and anti-tank gun. Nebelwerfer coming actually under direct fire from the Hellcats. Armor cars rolling out again, supported by Panzer equipped infantry. Finally, some veterancy for them, by the way. Hellcats pulling away. Sniper moving about. Should be careful. He could actually end up getting crushed by a Hellcat if he's not careful. But Pepsi is everywhere, and I do believe it's actually time for the mid-game analysis. Current situation, I mean, Pepsi's definitely holding some advantages. He's doing some damage. And Shevonoluckystrike's having a bit of trouble dealing with the Hellcats. He's got a Panzer Command, though. Either Panzer IV or a Panther could definitely help in that area. Pepsi's holding a nice amount of territory, though he might want to lay down some mines. He's got a ton of munitions for that, so I definitely think Pepsi should really just begin laying down some quite large minefields in the center of town, right here, and possibly around here as well if you can secure that territory for long enough. Possibly here a bit as well. But basically around the victory points and such should be his primary mining objectives. And I think he also should consider getting a Sherman to help deal with the infantry in a slightly more survivable fashion than the snipers. Shevonoluckystrike, on the other hand, needs to quickly recapture this part at least to keep the sort of exit point here clear. Getting an anti-tank gun, he might want to recruit that one as well. Repair bunker up, that's a nice move. He might also want to consider medic bunker, but otherwise he needs some panzers and some veteranary 2 for his infantry. But let's return to the fight. And there we go, armor cars engaging, just doing terrible damage to the riflemen, tearing through them. And field repairs are up, rifleman squad, gets about the house, pulls off a forest gun by running around the corner. Jolly nice job there, Hellcats moving out. Field repairs, I think there's a slight bug since it is not showing the icon, but it's still getting repaired there, so that can happen. And inspired assault up for Shevonoluckystrike. Not entirely sure if that's an accident or something. Doesn't really seem to have any purpose, so I'm guessing slight misclick there by Shevonoluckystrike. They can happen. They can happen. And Shevonoluckystrike using the flamethrower to try and clear out any mines. Of course, he's worried that Pepsi's laying mines down there. And there we go. He's mining up the front to the church. Armor cars pulling up. And again, he might also want to mine here and, well, basically again the entire town centre. Going for here as well, worrying about it. Crossroads, very nice spot for mining. And he is burning away, but he's missing it. Oh no. MG not faring too well. Anti-tank gun nearby. But a bit of lack of artillery. And still the pack has not been recruited. I really think Pepsi could have benefited from that. No Sherman either, but at least he's using some of his munitions on mines, which is what he needs. Oh, single Nebelwerfer rocket clears out the entire minefield in front of the church. What a waste of effort and munitions. Oh, the inhumanity. And he's actually laid down a mine right in front of the minefield. Oh, dear. That should be interesting. And there we go. Pack recaptured by the Wehrmacht. A few plucky Volksgrenadiers rushed forward and secured it in the name of the fatherland. Hellcats moving up. Hellcats rolling out. And coming directly under fire from the pack. Very nasty, very nasty. And of course the other pack. Again, the other pack now turns against Pepsi. He let it be. He did not even destroy it. He did not even mine it. And now Pepsi's getting punished for his laxity. Again, you should always in some way deal with such things like these. If you're not going to use it, which is the preferable way, either destroy it or mine it so it becomes a booby trap for the opponent. But do not leave an anti-tank gun like that lying around. That was definitely a bit of a fumble there by Pepsi and the 1st Armoured. Rifle coming under heavy fire. Grenadiers at the same time could go down, could go down.
We're losing a point out there.
And a rifleman squad taking heavy losses. Down to 1 man. Pack decrewed. Ooh, could get up. And there we go, armor car going down. Oh, the Hellcat saved the rifleman. Absolutely nice maneuver right there. And looks like the other armor car might get away from the mighty Hellcat. Still nothing from the Panzer Command, though. Nothing from it in all. In fact, observation post number 2 going down for Pepsi. More munitions. Oh, the Hellcat went down. Panzergrenadiers scored by a Volksgrenadier. Scores the kill. Gets him a tank destroyer badge. Oh dear, looks like a sniper could go down for this Pepsi. And Pepsi's tank motor pool, or vehicle pool, just went down. But let's go look at No Lucky Strike once more. Now Ritter Kreuzträger adding in some more tough infantry. He's still actually got most of his Volksgunners there. Dealing with the observation post there nicely, although a very swift American response force is on the way. Looks like he is saving up for a Panther. That's definitely going to pay off. He's got the fuel. He's got the manpower. Now he just needs to click the button and there we go. Panzerkampfwagen 5 on the Weg. Volksgrenadiers getting heavily engaged and quickly pushed off. And the observation post is still standing for Pepsi. Just needs to connect. Just needs to connect. And again, also, I think he should have mined this area as well. In particular, now that he's actually laying down an observation post. Mines are going to be vital around here. This is really going to be a primary point for Pepsi, which also means it's going to be a very good point for No Lucky Strike to lead attacks, harassment at the very least, but also destroying the observation post. Sherman out. The M4 Sherman. Point being taken there. Quickly taking up position in the house. Something went down. Oh, Grenadier scored, I think. No, Volksgrenadier scored with a BAR. Oh, what a tragic loss. Grenadiers moving up against the Sherman. Takes a nasty hit. And are quickly on the run.
The Americans are capturing a sector.
Point secured. Nebelwerfer. Oh dear, No Lucky Strike. If Pepsi was to somehow spot this, he could rush in and take the Nebelwerfer from you. Troops don't immediately rush out here, getting largely suppressed. Botched assault that there by Pepsi, getting shot, getting propaganda award as well. And actually, nothing happens here except the Nebelwerfer gets off a very nice barrage, and this house is on fire and ready to collapse.
The Yankees are grabbing our territory.
The roof is on fire. And largely no more on fire. Quickly retreating there.
What is the target?
Schwimmwagen actually on the way for No Lucky Strike. Interesting. He might try to sort of catch down Pepsi snipers like that. And Pepsi keeps getting more snipers. But there we go. Second Sherman, so rather shift from Hellcats to Shermans now for Pepsi and the 1st Armoured. What I think should have been there in the first place. Of course, now there's a Panther out, so the Shermans will be a bit less useful. So in that sense, he's a bit too slow. And again, the slight being fed up with the way snipers currently work in Company of Heroes. Schwimmwagen moving forwards, veteran 2, and there we go, spotting the snipers. And the Panther scores a kill. Wonderful, wonderful. Except for Pepsi, of course. Veteran 1 on the way for the Panthers. And there we go, full assault going into town, right and advancing. Knight's Cross on the run. Panther going to expose the rear, that could be nasty, could get sticky bomb. Schwimmwagen keeping a clear eye on the rifle moving in north, and they're just getting murdered. 26 kills on the armored car. Rifleman squad down. Mine going off as the riflemen advance. Needlewerfer slow down the advance through the town. And looks like this did not quite work out for Pepsi, although Sherman moving out down south, they could try and get this Needlewerfer right there. That would be devastating. And another rifleman squad going to get lost for Pepsi, I fear. Apparently the Panther can't get the kill. What a shame. Well, there we go. Needlewerfer under attack. And there's actually nothing really to react. There we go. Needlewerfer down. And there we go. Oh, the Schwimmwagen sets off both mines.
The enemy advances.
Grenadiers moving in. And there we go. Needlewerfer wrecked permanently. Grenadiers taking losses. Flamethrower engineers taking a beating from the Knights Cross. And the Sherman doing quite well, and we're actually seeing them upgunned now. 2 upgunned Shermans. If you can focus them, perhaps with some additional tank stores, he could get that Panther and knock it out.
We have 300 points left.
And Knights Cross getting sniped as they fight heroically for the central victory point. Engineers pulling away, knowing there's a Panther nearby. A replacement Needlewerfer for no lucky strike, and the force goes up north quickly on the run as Sherman appears from through the fog. Oh dear, second Sherman, they're in trouble. There's a Panther blocking the route of escape. More mines going down from Pepsi. I'm pretty sure this Sherman is gone. And the German sniper went down. Ambushed by the Americans this time around. Allied war machine up. Main gun destroyed. And now, of course, he's going to be firing on the ground. And the pack... Oh, he ordered to not fire. And Pepsi, I'm not entirely sure what he's trying to do. He's just going to lose that Sherman as soon as it wears off, the Allied war machine, that is. And there we go. Now it's gone.
We have lost the unit.
I think that was a bit of a mismove there. Oh, might he actually make it? Might he make it? Sticky bomb on the armored car. Sherman just needs to keep moving. Grenadiers taking heavy losses. Oh no. Panther going to get its prey. It will not be denied. And there we go. It gets the Sherman. Again, he should have quickly assembled his Shermans, then he got an upgun. Then he might have a chance against a Panther instead. He does not. And he could even lose a second Sherman. And again, the pack. That pack which he never recruited. And now the Sherman is on the run. Oh, sniper! The Panther gets a second sniper.
Panzer has arrived in our reserve.
Absolutely vicious. And Pepsi just keeps on losing snipers, and he keeps getting more. I don't think he needs more snipers now. He needs something to deal with the Panthers, with the armored cars and the other stuff. And a bit more solidity with the infantry.
Americans are seizing territory from us.
Rockets going down to try and hold that cutoff point away from the Americans to ensure they do not get the munitions. And a firestorm goes off, probably down south. Rather quickly away, and a King Tiger arrives on the field again. And yes, again, very heavy usage of terror doctrine lately. seems to have become the doctrine of choice for the Wehrmacht as of late. And so the King Tiger rolls out to war. Knights cross secure the victory point. Looks like the Sherman got away. But Pepsi is a bit of trouble now. A few poor engagements here and there. And again, I think not getting that anti-tank gun really hurt him. Partly because, of course, it was then unleashed on himself again. But also because it rather ensured he did not have, for example, a bit more extra firepower to direct against the armored cars of Pepsi. And now there's a King Tiger on the field as well.
We try our best.
Mine very close. The Volkswagens are going to be slowly advancing into it. And they have no cover as well. Well, that's derived from a light cover and Infantry 1. They're definitely not going to win that one. King Tiger a bit on his own. And rockets going down on the munitions, or rockets flaming about, not really hitting. King Tiger slowly advancing, need to be careful, could get, well, outmaneuvered and knocked out. Since there's absolutely no support right here, in fact. Engineers running into a bit of a problem with the Panther. Rather than actually advancing straight into the German area, and oh dear, got too far. Now has to take the gauntlet of retreats, which means a lot of fire from the Germans. Panther quickly moves out, opens up on the Sherman. And 2 Browning automatics for the Grenadiers right there.
Attention. The enemy advances.
Heavy losses to Pepsi now on every front. Riflemen retreating. Not looking good. King Tiger continues its glorious advance. And the snipers unleash another ambush. Sherman moves in right in front of the King Tiger. Not good, not good. And takes another direct hit. Infantry 2 out for no lucky strikes troops finally. And a propaganda wall providing a bit of cover there. All the armor being directed now against the position of the Sherman. Clearly no lucky strike intends to finish it off. And could very well do so. But clearly he does not relish this thought of having 2 infantry squads on his flank, so he quickly pulls back so as not to further overextend it and risk getting covered in sticky bombs. More rockets around here. Oh, mine could go off, right as the riflemen cross it, but no, they make it. Oh no, not just in time, they get suppressed and damaged. Would of course been worse if they'd been straight over it as the fire set off their own mine. Mines being laid down there again by Pepsi. "38 kills on the armored car, my goodness." Grenadiers moving up. Rather than getting blasted. Oh! Grenade takes out 3 Grenadiers. Pepsi making progress on the southern flank. Again, though, getting stopped quickly by some false Grenadiers. Heavily equipped to the teeth. While the Panther holds up the front. And now taking back to get anti-tank guns. Might be a bit too late for that for Pepsi. I think you should just focus on getting more tank destroyers. Oh, both snipers went down to a needle-werfer rocket, I think. Either that or the Panther got them. I'm thinking it's the needle-werfers. So that's 4 snipers gone for Pepsi, just out to a Panther or needle-werfer rockets. And overall, he has spent an awful lot of man-pound snipers. I think could have gone better elsewhere. Like more armor. King Tiger shifting about left and right.
Yeah, boy. We are ready to push back the Yankees. We are ready to push back the Yankees. Our territory.
Sherman advances up. Oh, outflanks, of course. Not really have to worry about anything. Nice hit from the pack crew, but it might be the last. And then, of course, the Sherman completely ignores the pack and just goes after the Grenadiers, exposing its rear to anti-tank on fire, which is not really a good idea. King Tiger continues to fire again a bit on its own. No lucky strike. Definitely, clearly feeling a bit lucky here since he's keeping his King Tiger very unsupported. And they've got Rifle moving up for sticky bombing.
They're losing territory.
Anti-tank on the spot. There we go. The sticky bomb lands and damages the engine. Veteran 2 up for the Panther, giving the machine gunner on top. Sticky bombs galore on the tank. Damaging the engine. But the Panther keeps on fighting. Armoured car moving up to provide support with 41 kills. Riflemen taking heavy losses, but they continue nonetheless their hunt for the Panther. Anti-tank moving up. Sherman nowhere to be seen as it is heavily damaged. Another dual sticky bombing on the Panther. Armoured car will just keeps on killing as well. 43. And the Knights cause ending a bit as well. And thus, Pepsi was forced to vacate the town.
The Americans are capturing a sector.
Whoops. Hiccup. And interestingly enough, I mean, considering he's got armor, you've not seen any of the end weapons. He's not seen a Calliope or Pershing. But that's also because he's gone for both field repairs and what's the other one? Allied war machine. So again, I think perhaps, if he just focused on the Pershing, he might have had a slightly upper hand beginning wise as well. But again, he did not. He sort of spread his resources a bit too much. Direct hit on the Sherman by the needle-werfer. And Veteran 3 up for the Panthers, or well, more specifically the Panther. Providing protection against sticky bombs. And nice hit from the anti-tank gun. Armor-piercing rounds definitely will be needed for this. And Veteran 3 for the Infantry now up. Panzer Lehr against the Sherman. Hits nicely but does not really knock it out. And a pack covering the entire thing. And a war machine goes up. Knight's Cross taking heavy losses. You could, of course, just order to hold fire. But no, he orders to fire on the ground instead. King Tiger taking heavy damage. Panther advances once more. Another sticky bomb on the King Tiger down to half health. Panther instead ends up taking the hits from the anti-tank gun. Rockets hit the cafe, but not the anti-tank gun right besides it. And the Pershing finally arrives. The first armor finally gets something that might save them after all the problems Pepsi has managed to land himself in. And the Sherman's going to get hunted down. The Panther's on the prowl. Oh, it is actually taking a bit of nasty damage there from the Sherman, particularly since it's veteran 2 and thus have increased penetration. But let's go look at Les Pepsi. He even had access to the Calliope. Oh dear. Rather than arriving, oh dear, could look like the end for the Sherman, constantly pulling about. Trying to avoid the wrath of the Panzerkampfwagen 5 while the Pershing moves up, and there we go. Nice rear hit. Pack moving up. Sherman needs to be careful still. Rear armor gone. Almost. Come on. Just one more hit. We're going in for the Sherman. Oh, Sherman's shot bounces off. Oh dear. Oh, the Sherman moved the wrong place. Got knocked out by the pack. Sprung it. Surprise. And Pepsi has very little left now. Panther out of control. And the anti-tank gun crew dead as well.
Supply lines are broken. We have territory out of supply.
Now the Knight's Cross squad charging forward to clear out the anti-tank gun crew. Rifle moving up, engineers moving up, Pershing moving in. Field repairs providing something for it as it quickly moves to the front. And it cannot afford to stop up for something as silly as repairs.
Our forces are taking casualties.
Oh, heavy losses inflicted there, though the Need River does nicely again. But the Knight's Cross do not survive.
Supply lines are broken. We have territory cut off from supply. We're down to
Pershing rolls out. Points are being secured. And 55 kills on the armoured car. My goodness, that's definitely enough for Knight's Cross. That thing's a killer. And looks like the Pershing is out for vengeance. For all its comrades killed. And sticky bomb on the armoured car. 59 kills.
They're hitting one of our forward emplacements.
60 kills. 60 kills in the armoured car. Good lord.
Forward emplacements, trying to take our territory.
That's definitely the armoured car from hell. Pershing moving in, dodging a lot of Panzergrenadier rockets. Anti-tank opens up. Damaged engine, but no, don't. It gets the armoured car. It gets the armoured car.
Crowds are pounding on the forward emplacement.
And it just trucks off a lot of anti-tank fire, but a rocket penetrates the rear, destroying the engine. The Pershing is trapped.
Secured sector under attack.
A lame duck. And main gun destroyed. And with that, Pepsi is out for the fight. GG. A loss to the United States despite a solid push by the 1st Armoured. A very good start. Things rather began falling apart. part in the mid-game. Some unfortunate engagement. Again, that pack he did not secure. Turned out to be a bit of a mistake. Perhaps the medic station might also benefited. And all the snipers, instead of getting more armor and tank destroyers, rather hurt Pepsi as well. He should have shifted towards that and less on snipers. Plus his very late Pershing probably should have been there earlier instead of the stage he got it in. So clearly some mistakes there. No lucky strike, while having a bit of trouble start, certainly came about. He had the right moves. The armored cars definitely paid themselves off. Niebler helped. Panther also. He might have wanted to get another Panzer. But overall, nicely played by him as well. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, want to subscribe, tell your friends, or just share. If you didn't, feel free to send in a replay of your own, or provide some feedback in the comments. What did you think of this matchup? And this is Imperial Dane saying cheers, and feel free to follow me on Facebook and Twitter.